Good morning, good morning. This is another episode of Legends Point, Season 1, Episode 8. All right, this conversation today and topic of discussion is going to be something serious. You hear me? I mean, all of my episodes are something serious, you know what I mean? But today, this one is really just inspired by my auntie. You hear me? One of them. So, I'm pretty much close to her, so we have had conversations about different things when it comes to generations. How back in the day, how their generation grew up and moral and values was different from our generation now. You feel me? So this topic today is going to be generational morals. All right? Is it the same or it's not? You hear me? And I want to shout out to everybody that's tuning in. You hear me? Everybody that emailed all of that. Once again, I'm going to say it every time. You got a question, a scenario that you want Legend to know, go ahead and hit me up on my email. Legends.7 at gmail.com. So that's LEGENDSPOINT, the number 7 at gmail.com. All right, let's get into it. So, it's a lot of changes going on in the world, and it's just not the economy. You hear me? It's personal values. You feel me? It's different aspects and thoughts of life itself individually. Yeah, I know a lot of people say, times have changed. And I didn't heard people say the good old days. So we're gonna mix and match all of that with this episode. I'm not gonna say too much, talk too much about it, but we gonna, try to nip it in the bud as simple as I can put it, unraw, unfiltered, and uncut. All right. So let's start off with this one. Respect for elders. Mm, that have changed. Okay. Because nowadays I have seen, even on social media, I have seen the 8, 9, 10-year olds cussing in front of people that's quadruple their age. You hear me? And not get in trouble for it. You go to their parents and it's more like, yeah, that's my child. You don't tell my child what to do. Sweetie, obviously you're not guiding your child to know what to do just in case some shit happen like them. Well, to them once they get older. You feel me? And the reason I said that, your child up here cussing in front of older people. And I'm not talking about people that's 5, 10, even 12 years older than them. Even though it's not right for your child to be cussing at that age, but hey, who say? You hear me? So I'm talking about people that's 20 plus. That comes with respect. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm gonna be myself around whoever. First off, that's your mind frame. And one thing about life itself, it will throw shit at you that you would not be able to catch. Sometimes motherfuckers gotta have people behind them just to catch their problems. Nah, that's not how that go. You feel me? So respecting for elders, especially for the ones that they paved the way for us to be where we are, where we're standing today. Cause let's be real. Respect just wasn't just handed to them. They had to earn that. You feel me? Some of the respect that they had to give back then came with fear. You feel me? And I'm not just talking about slavery days. I'm talking about everything that went with it. Jim Crow. All of that. So yeah, they mind frame of respect and like the quality of life itself all comes together. You have to have respect. Honestly, I feel like if you don't respect anybody else, you don't have respect for yourself. Let's be real and let's be technical. Just like people say, if how can you love someone else if you don't love yourself? Do anybody know that question? Oh yeah, I do. Cause you have to have respect for yourself to love yourself. So if you don't give a fuck about yourself, how the fuck you gonna give a fuck about somebody else? Excuse my language. You hear me? But yeah, that comes along with it. Back then, respect was given. Respect on top of that was earned. And let's be technical. Nowadays, I don't think people know what the fuck respect is. You feel me? Not saying everybody, because some people, they parents and grandparents installed that in them. And I want to say kudos for them. All right. So, society versus the Bible version of a man. Yeah, I like that one. And I'm not trying to get our religious, but I'm telling you now, I have not heard so many people talk about God in so many ways. Not saying a bad way, in a good way. Me growing up, I only really heard it, when say family gatherings and we, praying before we eat. You hear me? Or even going to church, because I grew up in the church. You know what I'm saying? So but now I feel like people is taking that in a whole nother direction. And the reason I'm saying that, they're using God to actually belittle someone else's lifestyle. Baby, you have not thrown that first stone. All of us are sinners. Ain't no sin bigger than any other. You feel me? And if it come down to it, can't nobody speak down on nobody. I don't care. When you down, your only direction is up. And I'm going to emphasize that. Especially when you're trying to make something happen in your life. But guess what? Just because you high mighty and you all the way up there, baby, your direction is down. So, baby, you got to be very humble to keep that spot. Because just like it said and done plenty of times to a lot of people, once you hit that spot, best believe you better try to keep it. You feel me? And that's how they go right there. But my bad, I kind of got off that little point, but let me go back to it. But yeah, people like to say, I'm a man, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Okay. But back then in their generation, they was taught what a man's supposed to be. You feel me? I'm talking more like provide, protect, procreate. But you up here in this generation trying to talk down on the next man, and you have kids, no job. So you doing what, one out of the three what a man's supposed to be? But you want to talk your shit about the next person lifestyle. Please make it make sense. Which I don't get it. You feel me? But that's how society is. They grew up back then. They knew they had to provide. That's why a lot of men, that was born, let's say, let's put it the 50s, 60s, 70s, a little bit of the 80s. You hear me? Early 80s. They grew up to where they knew that their kids was going to be their responsibility. They grew up where they knew they had to provide, even making $2.15 an hour. Something gotta shake. You hear me? I got mouths to feed. And you will hear a lot of people say that now in this generation, but baby, what mouths are you talking about? Because obviously, you ain't even trying to pay half on fucking Pampers for your kids. So what mouths are you trying to feed if you're not trying to pamper your baby? Please, once again, make that make sense. But hey, I'm not talking about nobody. All of this is in general for these generations that's been coming about. You're right. Times have changed, but the morals and the values have changed also. You feel me? So, with that being said, with that right there, society versus the Bible version of a man, ain't no way in hell you should change that at all when life is still the way it is. All right. So, okay, next one. Oh, yeah, that's another thing, too. These kids nowadays, they don't want to be like, all they want to be is rappers, athletes, and drug lords. You feel me? All of that, you don't have to have no type of fucking degrees. Don't say, oh, I didn't have to go to school to make 100 grand. Yeah, but baby, one thing about it, two things for sure. Once that 100 grand is gone, where you left with? Nothing to fall back on. And that's the mindset with most of these people now. They say money is the rule of all evil, right? No, it's the love of money is the rule of all evil, right? Yeah, a lot of people got that twisted. You feel me? But them three things I just named, all I heard and seen in my mind is no life insurance, no life insurance, no life insurance. And the reason I say that is because all of them is targets. Baby, it's nothing wrong making a career being a post office. You know what I mean? At the post office. Being a postman. Ain't nothing wrong with that, baby. Ain't nothing wrong with being a pharmacy tech. Shit, hell, go out here and be a CNA. You know what I mean? It's nothing wrong with having that type of shit on your background. And that's the thing with society now. They downplay shit like that. How the fuck you gonna downplay on something that's gonna be needed until eternity? Somebody always gonna need something in the law. Somebody always gonna need something in the medical field. It's nothing wrong with having that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? I know y'all see the cars, the clothes, the women, even the men. Like y'all see all of that, but y'all looking at the outcome. Y'all not understanding what took to get there. A lot of these people, kids in this generation, feel entitled, but they don't want to work for shit. Your mama telling you to wash the goddamn dishes, you upset. She's trying to teach you a skill. So when you get out of school, oh, mama, why you won't do it? Because she the one paying them goddamn bills. She's the one who's making sure you got school clothes. She's the one making sure you get back and forth to whatever plans you got going. It should be no type of back talk when it came to that. You hear me? But like I say, a lot of this stuff is in the era of what we're living in. And frankly, the shit is unbelievable. But it's believable. Because a lot of these kids are influenced by a lot of these rappers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking down on no rapper. But they got to understand. Some of this shit is fiction. You know what I'm saying? Artistic. Some of these people got the mind frame to put themselves in a position and speak about it. That's talent, baby. And the three things I named, baby, that's talent. Some of them are gifts that people either take for granted or use it to their advantage. So either one. Hey, come on, man. It's more out there. I wouldn't give a fuck if you was a janitor, a honest living. It might take a long time to get where you want to be, and sometimes you don't get there. But best believe you're not going to be targeted. You're not. Let's say you're not going to be targeted. Your ass will probably live longer, and on top of that, hey, you gonna get where you going without a target on your back, man. Point blank. Period. You hear me? All right. So let's say enabling stupidity of children's education. That shit right there is a mind blower, also, because it's like I understand with some situations with a child having, like dyslexia or autism, or sometimes shit, the kids just don't want to do shit, you know? But the first two I named, that's understandable. You feel me? And those are the type of kids, honestly, those are the type of kids that's very gifted. You know, the world look at them as being different. I look at them as being the chosen ones. They see life for what it is, while other people see it for what it could be. You feel me? So those are the special ones, including the other ones. You hear me? But yeah, like I say, uh enabling stupidity of a children's, of children's education. And I'm gonna put an example in that. You feel me? Back in my hometown, at one point, they wasn't even gonna have no graduation for the seniors. And the parents got mad. Your child had all the way from August to, let's say, shit, they was even giving them to May, and school was out at the end of that month to get their shit back up, their credits. Get them all the way to that so they can walk across that stage. But when they called that meeting and telling y'all it wasn't going to be a graduation, y'all got upset. Like, how the fuck you get upset because your child not doing what they're supposed to do? That's what I'm saying. Older generation paved the way for us to actually be able to have and be able to attend school. Why is this generation fucking up the church's money? Or should I say the school money? Because if them academics ain't up, baby, everybody is fucked. You hear me? So yeah, back then, they wanted to know how to read. You know what I'm saying? But they couldn't. You feel me? But now, people don't even want to go to school. That's them values that they skipping out on. Then that's for the parents get upset because your child not graduating or not walking across stage. Hell, they even want to send them to summer school so they'll be able to get a degree, diploma. My apologies. But that's just that mind frame right there. Don't be enabling bullshit. And how the fuck y'all not know y'all kids failing? Boy, every fucking report card, any bad grade from a test, any of that, my mama was gonna know. Daddy too. You feel me? So, and it's not even me, her mama, giving it to her. It was more like, where your report card at? Where your progress report? I'm talking about every time they was issued. I get home, that's the first thing's going to be said out her mouth. Because she was invested in my education. Knowing back then they was limited to what they could learn. You feel me? And that's different. Parents now, they could care less. Not all of y'all. So don't, jump all down my throat. Not all of y'all. You feel me? Because I heard certain parents say, don't be like me, be better than me. First off, how you want them to be better than you, and you're not even pushing them to that level to be the best they can be? Yeah, it's not given. But your child up here don't even know 2 times 8, but you paying $600-700 on a goddamn game system. Yeah, twisted. No ma'am. All right, let me go to the next one, man. Oh yeah, being friends with your kids. I'm going to just say this and not say much about it. You can't be friends with your kids. It's a line now. You feel me? And I think that's an issue nowadays too. Like, to be real, it's an issue with that. You can be friendly. Don't get me wrong. You can be friendly with your child. But being friends, please. How is that possible? You are there to guide, protect, care, love, show every day how life supposed to be for that person. How life need to be for that person. But you being friends with your kids, baby, you're opening up some shit that you're going to be upset about in the long run. Point blank, period. Yes, it's okay for your child to come to you. That's a good thing for your child to come to you. Talk to you about anything and everything. But what you got to understand, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you talk about, it's how you approach it. It's different. Yes, your child can come to you about shit. They thinking the shit funny and cool, but you correcting them on their behavior is something different. You feel me? It's what's shown to approve a child's mindset when it comes to having a parent instead of having someone that they know as their parent. That probably went over a lot of y'all heads. But yeah, that's how that shit take off. And that's real. Because I'm going to tell you from my personal experience. My mom. One day, I was like, yes, Mama, you my best friend. My mama said, I ain't your damn best friend. She didn't laugh or nothing. I was like, damn. Wow. Like, I felt some type of way. But at the same time, with her and her generation, we're not doing that shit. I'm not gonna be your friend, baby. At all. I'm your mama, your mother. Ain't no friend shit over here. But I'll be there. You need somebody to talk to about something. Yeah. That's how that shit go. And that's how that shit went. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not finna sit here and be like, yeah, my mom was wrong for that, because when she said that and gave me that look, it was more like, yeah, niggas, yeah, you can't do that trend shit. She ain't going for that. Yeah. So oh, and another thing too, man, we speaking of best friends. Y'all stop calling these kids, y'all best friends. Oh, for instance, broke best friends, quotation. Baby, that baby can't be too much broke because you damn sure getting EBT. You hear me? You damn sure getting child support and income tax. So they ain't that fucking broke. They actually helping you at the same time while you assisting them. You feel me? Yeah, I wasn't gonna talk too much about that. Let me see another thing. This old generation to the new generation. Stability. A lot of people that I know, my mom age, including her best friends, her siblings, even my uh, great aunt, great uncles, older cousins, sisters, all of that, brothers. Stability is one thing in their mind. Stability, work, provide, enjoy life while you have it. Because most of them was more of, we gotta leave one day. So this is my heaven on earth, and I'm going to enjoy it. They have, like, they are homeowners, you know, on their cars, on businesses, things like that. Stability. Nowadays, I can't say everybody, but nowadays it's more like stability ain't shit. From what I see, they feel like it's pretty hard to be stable. But I can see, uh let's say a here and there with that. And I say that because, for one, yeah, a lot of shit is going up. Economy is getting expensive. You know, McDoubles and McDonald's is not $1.08 no more. They large sodas, fountain drinks, how the fuck you put, it's not $1.08 no more. So I'm understanding that. But the thing about that, have something in your name, in your name, and that's real. Not in your mama name, not in your baby mama name, not even in your child name, in your name, man. I'm telling you, when I moved in my own shit and had only my name on there, the excitement of growth and maturity, knowing that I did this shit alone by myself. You feel me? That made me feel better than what I felt before. And another thing why I say be stable within yourself is because, honestly, ain't nobody gonna have your back like you have your own back. Independency is nature. Dependency is for vouchers. You hear me? So yeah, that shit is different now. You feel me? And sometimes shit, it comes with upbringings too. Like I say, motherfuckers feel entitled to a lot of shit. Especially when you get 18 and older, you still feel like a person's still supposed to be there. But like at the same time, I actually used to say that to my mom. I used to be like, I didn't ask to be her, things like that, but I was just playing with her. You feel me? But some people is dead serious with that thought. Like dead serious. Cause honestly, whatever your parent do or whoever raised you do, once you turn 18, that is a gift. Cause they don't have to. You know? That's why a lot of this shit gotta be taught at an early age. Early age. You feel me? From washing dishes, cleaning, washing your own clothes. You know what I'm saying? Sweeping, vacuuming, so on and so on, etc. That shit is going to go with you to the end of time. So you being taught that shit, whoever taught you, I give them kudos. Cause a lot of kids these days, they feel like that is something that's not needed at all. But baby, if you want to be dirty, that's you. You hear me? But I be damn at all. All right. Let's see. Trapping. And I'm not talking about selling dope. I'm not saying none of that. I'm talking about back then, their generation, older generation. They had kids. They know when to fucking stop. Nowadays, you having kids because you want to trap this nigga. But how the fuck you gonna trap this nigga? How? You trapped him with a baby because you ain't showed trapped him with no finances. Cause if he ain't doing for the first four, what the fuck you think he gonna do with this one and this is fifth one? Baby, please make it make sense. That's why I said I'm not gonna say for our generation back then was straight on point, but best believe most of them was on point than the ones now. You hear me? And I'ma shout that out to all of them. Kudos to all the fathers, the mothers that stood in there, made things happen for your child even when you was tired, even when mothers cried in showers. You feel me? Just because they didn't know what to do or how to make it the next day. Living paycheck to paycheck. Limited resources. But y'all made a way. You hear me? And that shit right there is phenomenal. But a lot of people don't have that type of mindset nowadays. So that shit is literally dying down. But I can't say some people, I know I can't say all people in this generation have this new era, going through their veins. Because I have seen 12, 13-year-old kids still, yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir, opening doors for older women. They on a bus, they see an older woman come in with a cane, they're going to raise up and let her sit down. It is still some of them out here. You feel me? But not like the good old days. You hear me? But yeah. And then that's another thing, like I said with that trapping shit, and then with the men, it's like you motherfuckers 40, 50 years old getting these females pregnant that's 20. Nigga, you a whole pedophile out here. I don't care if you say, you know what I'm saying? I don't care for the fact that you said, oh, she's past 18. Dude, your daughter is older than her. Please. That is sick. It's like your ass was waiting looking at her when she was like 8 or 9 years old and you was already like 19, 20. You feel me? 23. Like, that shit ain't weird to y'all? Yeah. No. And don't get me wrong, back then it was some shit going on like that, but a lot of shit was swept under the rug. You feel me? Not saying that that was cool. Not saying that that type of shit was okay. I'm not even on the basis of that right now. I'm on the basis of they knew when to stop having kids back then. They knew what and what not they couldn't afford, even though they was living paycheck to paycheck. They knew all of that. But nowadays, people don't give a damn. They don't give a fuck. They like the struggle. You know what I'm saying? And then a person say, how a person with no kids struggling? Shit, baby, just like you was struggling when you knew you was finna have another baby. Shit, like, come on now. Difference is, y'all get help, government assistance. People without kids don't. So let a motherfucker struggle in peace. All right, so here we go. Here we go to the questions and the scenarios, man. All right, here we go. It's say, legend. My kid has this unbelievable sense of entitlement. When I was growing up, I had to work to earn what I have. What's your input? And that is so fucking crazy because I was just talking about that at the beginning, man. Honestly, sweetie, I'm gonna tell you this. It didn't just start with your kid. He didn't just wake up one day and be like, "Mama, can I have?" You hear me? Or even I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but either way, Daddy, can I have? Nothing like that. So it was more like I put it as if you were allowing. Shit, I can't say it like that. All right, I'm gonna put it like this: you were actually enabling this behavior. Because for one, if your child is asking for something, and for instance, they, let's say, didn't do their homework when you told them to, they shit, what, like, getting in trouble in school, and you still giving them stuff. So it's more like you are rewarding their behavior. But now, since it's getting out of hand, it's more like, oh, they feel like they're entitled to getting whatever. Yeah, because you started that. You started that. And frankly, when you said when I was growing up, I had to work to earn what I have. So why you ain't installed that in them? I mean, honestly, let's be real. And now it backfired on you because maybe it was a situation like, yeah, I had to do this and that, so I don't want my child to do that. But now that you're seeing whatever was done for you, you should have did that with your child so they can appreciate it. You was more appreciative once you got older and have your own child of how things went when you was a child. But now your child is being ungrateful. It's more like, yeah, this motherfucker get on my nerves, because I don't have to. And you're right, you don't have to. But guess what? It's never too late. So just get back on that little, well, say, when you was younger. Put him in that type of box. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's gonna fuck you up at first because they gonna feel, oh, you don't love me, you don't care. At the end of the day, you tell them, I do care. And me doing this is going to help you in the long run. Because me giving you everything you want, everything you need, when I go and leave and not here no longer, who's going to do it? Question. Guess what? Nobody. He got to be able to hold his own. Point blank, period. Factor. Tough love. And that's real. All right. That's my input on that. Okay. Legend, do you think it's society or my upbringing of how I look at the world now? I'm in my early 50s. Shit. That's a, yeah. It's your upbringing. I'm gonna put it like that. It's your upbringing. Because, like I was just stating, a lot of stuff is different now than what it was, with you growing up back in the day. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff, you know. And and I apologize for cussing, after I'm trying to explain this. Respect my elders. I was just talking about that, a little earlier. But yes, ma'am, or yes, sir. Yeah, it's your upbringing. That's why you look at the world it is now, and that's all I can really say about that. The proof is in the pudding. Sometimes you get your sweet, sometimes you get your sour. Either way, you leave it there too long, it's gonna turn into mold. That's why you always keep it prepped, and you always keep it in a place where you know that it's gonna stay good. That's all I can say about that. I would say, what home remedy can I use to get rid of a common cold? Oh, head cold. Okay, well, speaking of that, oh yeah. All right, so a lot of people don't know this. They feel like going to the store, spending amounts of money on things, or even going to the doctor, which I don't even understand with certain shit because all the fuck the doctor is gonna do with every fucking thing. Your goddamn toe could be hurt, and they gonna give you some antibiotics for everything. So to get rid of a say head cold, do this, alright? Cause this is something my big mama always did. You know, she was a southern, God fearing, one of them country women. So going to the hospital and all of that, it wasn't needed if we have the herbal at home. You hear me? And honestly, all of that, I feel like that type of stuff is better anyways. But yeah, so what we're gonna do? So you're gonna take 1 tablespoon. Now let me go back. Get like a let me get a 8 ounce cup. An 8 ounce cup. Get 1 tablespoon of honey. It can be any type of honey. We're gonna get a whole lemon, but you're gonna cut it in half. And either you can chop it up and place it in there, or you can squeeze the lemon juice in there. Okay. And then on top of that, you get a couple of peppermints. Could be the hard ones. I prefer the hard ones because they're more concentrated than the soft ones. So you can do that, and you can either get a shot or two of bourbon or scotch. You warm that up. Oh, let's not forget the tea. Oh yeah, the tea pad. Excuse me. The tea bags will work better than just the ones that's already in, the bottles or the jugs. You warm that up, get it nice and hot. You know what I'm saying? The best way for me is to put it on the pot that's on the stove. You know, once you start smelling, start steaming it, put it in that 8 ounce. Boom, voila, there you go. And I'm fair warn you, man, you gonna get hot. You gonna get hot because it's going through your body. You hear me? So that will actually help. That's a home remedy. And speaking of that, man, it's a book called what's it called? Apothecary. So it's Apothecary. Apothecary. And with this book here, it will help you with whatever you need, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever you go through, many of lifestyle and medical situations, from personal care to immune support. You feel me? So with this book, I'm telling you, it goes from little things as toothaches to blood pressure to sinus relief. You hear me? To big thing is lupus, IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. You hear me? All of that. Reproduction system, skincare. I'm telling you, everything is in this book. Let's be real, a lot of people don't have health insurance. You hear me? But I know they know somebody with EBT. So everything that's in this book, guaranteed, you can get it off that EBT. Some of this stuff that you need, I'm talking about it helps you relax. It got stuff in there, for alternate panic attacks. Everything like that. I'm telling you, like this book is phenomenal. You feel me? You'll feel me like it's right there. For real. It's like alternative to moderate medication. This shit helps. Like I'm so serious. So y'all can get that off of Amazon, you know. But yeah. So this is gonna be the end of Legends Point, season 1, episode 8. Generational uh, excuse generational morals. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Just know it's a Trends with the Plan. Every Sunday and Wednesday, I'm in this thing. You hear me? So y'all have a blessed day.